It is indeed an honor and privilege for me to be introducing our first speaker for this CQE on leadership and quality. As the quote by John Maxwell goes, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. One such leader we have with us today to address on leadership and quality, Dr. Vijay Agarwal. Sir is the president of CAHO, and I now request Sir to give the special talk on leadership and quality. Over to you, Sir.
Thank you, Vidya. Thank you, Anuradha. We are going to talk about leadership today. And if we want the dawn of patient safety and quality, as you heard in our opening, our anthem, then I can just tell you that leadership is the key for making all that happen. You see every day a lot of leaders and a lot of leadership styles. The issue is this, that how do we define leadership? And I think one of the best definitions that has come across from one of my friends, about whom I'll be talking about also a little later, is the collective leadership, is the collective capacity of an individual or group to influence people. Mark the word, to influence people. It is not to coerce them or to force them, to work together to achieve a common constructive purpose, and that is the health and wellness of the people we serve. It's not merely treating the disease, it is also to kind of create the wellness and also to look at the population that we serve. It may become different from one area to the other. And for each one of us who want to evolve into some kind of a leadership, we must understand that leadership evolution is like a transformation. It's a journey. It's not an event. And keeping that in mind, let's try to understand that there are three functions of a leader that we must kind of keep in mind. One is that the leaders, they integrate services. I mean, that way I can say definitely CAHO can be seen as an example where our aim was to reach out to everybody. And we have tried to make now these three wings, that is of the healthcare institutions, the diagnostic centers, and the quality professionals. And each one of them are kind of contributing to each other to achieve the common purpose of promoting patient safety and quality. And then create healthy workplaces. There is enough literature and data to show that it is the healthy providers, the healthy individuals can only bring about better outcome in the patient care. And then facilitate system change. You understand today there is an exponential amount of knowledge, exponential amount of changes that are happening, and the leaders have to be able to become the agent of that change. They have to facilitate that change. So also to understand that we sometimes confuse, I think, leadership with management. So the leaders and managers, they have their own skills, and they're like two sides of a coin. And if you look broadly, I will say that while the manager focuses on present and prefers stability, the leader looks towards the future and appreciates a change. So, I mean, there are all these kind of smaller issues. Now, of course, there could be managers who may also be good leaders or leaders who may be good managers, but at times there may be brilliant leaders, but who are not at all good managers. So it's important for us to understand that these aspects of development are hugely different, and it is the leadership which is extremely crucial for us to bring about a change. So the issue is this: can leadership be taught? Now, if we understand that part, a lot of people feel that as if you are born only with the leadership traits and skills, but there is enough data to show that more than 70% of the leadership traits can be learned. It's not necessarily, yes, there can be some traits for which you are born with, but definitely the major part of it can be learned. The issue is that how do I learn leadership? Because if you start thinking about leadership, it becomes more like an abstract. It's like a haze. And that's where I came across, I interacted with a friend of mine in Vancouver, one Mr. Graham Dixon, and he has brought out this book called Bringing Leadership to Life in Health. Leads, L-E-A-D-S, leads in a caring environment. So this gentleman, in fact, had grappled with this issue of how does he convert this abstract issue into some kind of a form wherein we can try to teach leadership. And very, I was happy to kind of go through his book, which is a brilliant book. And I think the word mnemonics, the LEADS, he has tried to kind of come out with 5 pillars, and each pillar has another 4 subdivisions in that pillar, which can try to define comprehensively the kind of a curriculum for one to learn and understand leadership. So the first one amongst that is the letter L, and that stands for lead self. Lead self is like, they have to be, you have to be making yourself aware. The leaders are aware of their own assumptions, values, principles, strengths, and limitations. You manage themselves. They take responsibility for their own performance and health. You develop themselves also. They actively seek opportunities and challenges for personal learning, character building, and growth, and demonstrate character. And I can say that this particular part is, if you cannot exhibit that, I'm sorry that there cannot be any other parts which can be of any importance. So they actively seek opportunities and challenges for personal learning, character building, and growth. Second is the second letter of leads is the E, that is engage others. And this is again a hugely important part of a leader, and it is to foster development of others. They support and challenge others to achieve professional and personal goals. They contribute to the creation of healthy organizations. They communicate effectively, and you build teams. I think most of these things and thoughts, I think, should be very, very self-explanatory. Third letter of leads, LEADS, is A, that is achieve results. And therefore, the leaders have to be goal-oriented. So the leaders, they set direction. They inspire vision by identifying, establishing, and communicating clear and meaningful expectations and outcomes. They strategically align the decisions with vision, values, and evidence. So they integrate organizational missions and values with a reliable, valid evidence to make decisions. You take action to implement decisions, and you assess and evaluate. Then you develop coalitions. Now, this is again a hugely important part where you understand that you purposefully build partnerships and networks to create results. Demonstrate a complement to customers and services. You mobilize knowledge. You navigate the socio-political environment. They are politically astute and can negotiate through conflict and mobilize support. And then is the system transformation. So this is, again, as we talked about, these are hugely important because they demonstrate system critical thinking. They think analytically and conceptually, questioning and challenging the status quo to identify issues, solve problems, and design and implement effective solutions to bring about change. They encourage and support innovations. They create a climate of continuous improvement and creativity aimed at systemic change, orient themselves strategically to the future, and champion and orchestrate change. They actively contribute to change process that improve health service delivery. And I must say, Kaho, from that point of view, this leadership issue has been very close to our heart. And that's where, as I said, I had come across my friend, Mr. Graham Dixon, who was the author of that book. And we interacted with him. And we have created this program on leadership, which is a self-paced learning program on leadership. And with that, we have come out with this international certificate program in leadership, which is redesigning leadership with leads. And you can become the leader you aspire to be. It's I think, one of the most beautifully designed and conceptualized program for anybody to understand leadership in a way so that we can perform all work carefully, guided by compassion, as is written in our Bhagavad Gita by Vedvyas. So thank you. I thought in a very short time, I thought this can be a good summary for me to motivate everybody to please go through this program and to join this program on leadership.
Thank you, Vijay sir, for that inspiring talk on leadership and quality.